Hello, I'm Frank Luntz, and tonight we'll be doing something that you'll only see right here on Fox News. We're bringing the politicians straight to the people for a very special look at the 2012 elections and much more. We've assembled a group of energized voters, Republicans and Democrats, and they'll come face to face with the political leaders that you've sent to Washington to represent you. And when you put real people with real politicians, the sparks will fly. Now, we're going to be using these dials, and you may have seen it at home. I'm going to be asking you to turn it up or down based on whether you agree or disagree, based on whether it's persuasive or not persuasive. The higher that your lines go, the more favorable the reaction. If you turn it down, it means that you don't like it. The red line are the Republicans in the group, the green line are the Democrats in the group. And before we get to the politicians, we're joined by a truly great American, Sean Hannity. Now, this is strange. Normally, he's in charge. So this is like the first time that I've actually had a chance.
This is so dangerous.
You and I are going to give our case for Mitt Romney. And I'm willing to go first.
Okay.
And you guys will use your dials and go to 50. And I'm going to try to win as many of you over, and Sean will try to win. But we only have 1 minute each to do it. There is so much division and partisanship in Washington that if we don't change now, the next 4 years could be even worse than the last 4. We know the unemployment, we know the deficit, we know the debt, and it's getting worse. If we believe in accountability, we actually have to vote for it. And if we believe in integrity, we actually have to stand up for it. There are a lot of people who voted for Barack Obama in 2008 because they wanted change. And they voted for the right reasons. But did you really get the change that you were expecting? We don't need this division. We need someone who is a problem solver. Barack Obama is a great communicator, but he's had 3.5 years. And at a certain point, you have to say, that's long enough. There's no such thing as perfection in American politics, but Mitt Romney has the record, job creation as governor. He's done what needs to be done. Let's give him a chance in 2012. Everyone go back to 50, please.
All right, so I get to make the case?
Yes.
If I was Governor Romney, this is the case I'd make to you, the American people. Are you, all of you, and your friends, and your family, and your neighbors, and your grandmothers, and your grandfathers, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? Is America better off than it was $5 trillion in debt ago? Because that's what President Barack Obama has given us. This is going to be a comparison election. Barack Obama promised to cut the deficit in half. He's given us $5 trillion in debt, the largest deficits, the greatest amount of debt in any president in U.S. history. The president believes in more government. Mitt Romney believes in less government. He wants to have less regulation. Mitt Romney wants to repeal Obamacare. Mitt Romney believes in the individual. The question is, which direction is the right direction for our future? Do you believe the government is the answer to our problems? I would argue vote for President Obama. If you believe in the power of the individual to get up in the morning and take care of themselves and take care of their families and work hard and play by the rules and pay their taxes and have limited government, then I believe that this choice could not be more clear.
Okay, raise your hands if you voted for Barack Obama in 2008.
Wow.
Tell me your reaction to the two of us. Did either of us make the case?
I think both of you actually made the case. I'm not going to vote for Barack Obama in the next election because I'm not happy with the way things are going right now. And I think somebody like Romney, who knows about business and has experience in government, he was a governor.
Did you vote for Barack Obama?
I did. I'm going to go with Romney this time around. What I'd like to see from Romney is more specific issues and get away from the tax and spend, the typical boilerplate arguments that are made every 4 years. Break out of the box, do something a little more dynamic. Don't kiss babies, be more dynamic.
But what would you want from him? Because I think this is really important. He says he's going to repeal Obamacare. I think that's important. He says he's going to lower taxes. He says he's going to, do very specific things. What else would you want him to do?
A specific exit strategy for all wars. I think that's part of.
Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yes. A specific
but that timetable's already set, right? So.
Well,
Did you vote for Obama in 2008?
Me? Yes, I did.
Do you plan to vote for him in 2012?
Yes, I will.
Did either of us say anything that would remotely connect to you?
Yes. You mentioned how we should worry about the taxes or the change, don't go into further debt. But I just remember a time when we had Bill Clinton when he came, and it was a similar situation. Not the exact same, but it was similar. And we gave him 4 years. People were a little bit happy. And then 4 more years after that, everything was good. Then we had Bush,
Can I
things
counter
went
that?
down. Sorry?
But Bill Clinton, after 2 years, changed. Yeah. And he said the era of big government's over. The end of welfare as we know it. The one thing that's kind of saddens me about this president is I think he's radical in his beliefs, and he's shown no willingness to change.
He does what he thinks is right. And you don't take polls and stuff. And that's what you said about George Bush. You said George Bush did what he thinks is right. And Obama does exactly the same thing. He does what he thinks is right. And he doesn't put his finger in the air and take a poll.
But here's my question. This is serious. $5 trillion. All right, let me give you a quote from somebody. Let me give you a quote. Barack Obama, July of 2008, before the election in 2008, actually said that George Bush was unpatriotic and irresponsible taking a credit card to the Bank of China in the name of our kids and grandkids, and George Bush had given us $4 trillion in new debt in 8 years. Obama's given us $5 trillion in 3.5.
It seems like nobody complained too much when George Bush was doing that.
Of course they did.
Not really?
Yeah, of course they did.
All the time.
I complained a lot.
And anyone who knew Obama knew that he was lying.
But it's not really true, because the $4 trillion that George Bush gave us was on top of spending the surplus that we had. So he actually spent more than Obama.
I'm saying in new fiscal debt that was more.
My biggest problem with Romney is I am not convinced that he's as serious about cutting the deficit and spending as actually that we need. And, you know, it is $16 trillion, and you say the $5 trillion that Barack Obama added. And Romney's budget and Romney's plans, to me, don't make me jump in excitement for cutting spending. It makes me almost seem like it's similar to the status quo, and I want to be persuaded that he will cut.
Last comment.
This is really hard. My biggest complaint now, beyond I think the president is governed in a pretty ideological and radical way, when Republicans say that we've got to get a hold of entitlements, we get ads of Paul Ryan throwing grandma over the cliff.
Well, we've got to wrap, so let's give Sean Hannity Thank you, guys. And coming up, what's really going to happen to your health care if the Supreme Court kills Obamacare? And next, Marco Rubio, Paul Ryan, Rob Portman, who should Mitt Romney pick? Herman Cain, and you decide. Thank you.